Shri Sai Ram, Jnana Vahini by Bhagwan Shri Satya Sai Baba. Chapter 2, Control of Mind is essential to have a vision of the Atma. Aparoksha Brahma Jnanam, or direct or unmediated, dependent or intermediary senses. Knowledge of the immanent self is the name given to the stage in which the aspirant is free from all obstacles or impediments like asambhavana or improbability or impossibility attitude, and viparita bhavana, that is habit driven self misconception, and is certain that Jiva or the individualized Atma and Brahman or the absolute Godhead are one. When this divine realization is attained, the aspirant will be free from abhasa avarana, the false appearance of a covering. That is to say, hereafter he will be free from the misconception that the effulgence of Brahman is not in me. This misconception is termed as abhasa avarana. In the core, that is the heart of every jivi or individualized Atma, Paramatma or the Godhead, the Supreme Self exists, subtler than the subtlest, greater than the greatest. Therefore, the Jnani or the enlightened being who has had a vision of the Atma in him will never suffer sorrow. The Atma is everywhere, in all living things, in the ant as well as the elephant. The whole world is all pervaded by this subtle Atma. The sadhaka or the spiritual aspirant has to direct his attention away from the external world and become incited. He has to turn his vision towards the Atma. He will then be ever able to watch the modifications of his mind and discover for himself where from all these originate. If that is grasped, all sankalpas will disappear. Afterwards, the only thought that will get fixed in the mind will be the thought of Brahman. Thereby, the sadhaka will be established in the state of Satchit Ananda. Such a jnani will be unaffected by joy or grief, for he will be fully immersed in the ocean of Atma Anandam, or the source of the bliss is the self itself and transcends the world. Atma Chintanam, or the constant contemplation of the Atma and its glory, is what is connoted by the terms Brahmabhyasam, that is, repeatedly recognizing a fact, Brahman, and so continually avoiding or refraining from error, and Jnanabhyasam, repeatedly recognizing a fact, knowledge of the self, and so continually avoiding or refraining from error. The mind is so influenced by the Vishya Shakti or the passion or attachment for sensual or objective pleasure, and Vikshepa Shakti or the power of extroversion of the mind or projecting power, that it pursues with amazing quickness the fleeting objects of the external world. So it has to be again and again led on towards higher ideals. Of course, this is difficult at first, but with persistent training, the mind can be tamed. Then it will get fixed in the perpetual enjoyment of the pranavam or the om. The mind can be trained by following the methods of sama or the control of the internal instruments that is the mind, Dhamma, control of the external senses, Uparati, or the desisting from sensual enjoyment, Titiksha, or being cheerful forbearance and endurance, Shraddha, unwavering faith on preceptor and source of knowledge, and Samadhana, or the single pointed concentration. By saturating the mind with the study of the Upanishads, prarthanas, that is regular prayers, bhajans, sattva gunas, and such things should be gradually turned towards Brahma Dhyanam, that is constant contemplation and meditation on the absolute Godhead. With the progress of dhyana, pristine resolves arise in the mind. By such persistent training, the mind can be firmly bonded to the cave of your heart without wandering towards any other thoughts or worries. The final result of this training is Nirvikalpa Samadhi. The fruit of Nirvikalpa Samadhi is Brahma Jnanam, the knowledge of the absolute Godhead, and that in turn results in what is called as moksha, or liberation from the cycle of birth and death. The mind must be attuned to the contemplation of Brahman, and thereby one must strive to reach the abode of Brahman. Atma Jnanam, or the knowledge of the self, can be won only by the triple path of sadhana, giving up vasanas, that is instincts and impulses, uprooting the manas or the mind, and tattva jnanam, the study of the self-knowledge. Without these three, the jnana of the Atma will not dawn. Giving up vasanas means destroying all desires. Uprooting the mind means mastery over the mind. Tattva Jnanam means Satya Niveshana, that is quest for the truth. Without putting into practice all these three parallelly, Atma Jnanam cannot be attained. Even if any of these is practiced for a long period of time, without the other two, you will not be able to develop the pristine tendencies or pure vasanas needed to be uproot the mind. It is because of vasanas one gets interested in sensual pleasures and bondages. So, giving up vasanas, that is destroying all desires, is possible only by means of viveka or discrimination. Atma Chintana, or meditation on the Atma, Vicharana, that is inquiry, Sama, or control of the internal mind, Dhamma, control of the body and the external senses, Vairagya, detachment or renunciation, Tyaga, or sacrifice, and such disciplines. The mind is a bundle of vasanas. Verily, the mind is the Jagat, that is the universe, which becomes manifest and unmanifest, while in deep sleep the mind does not function, and so the Jagat is practically non-existent for the individual. The Jagat is manifested and unmanifested according to the creation and dissolution of the sankalpas of the mind. When, therefore, the sankalpas are destroyed, moksha, liberation, is attained. Whoever succeeds in fully controlling the strong influence of the chitta or mind can have a vision of the Atma. Sankalpas arise in the chitta from the seed of the feelings of I or ego. So, when the seed I is cast aside, all the desires present in the chitta will vanish by themselves. The sadhaka has to be ever vigilant, for the indriyas or the senses might any moment try to regain their lost mastery and enslave the individual, and he might lose much of the mumukshutvam or yoga that has been acquired. That is the reason why sadhakas are warned to avoid association with the people who are more attached with the world and also with the worldly things. Be ever and always immersed in Satyanaveshana or the quest for the truth. Do not waste time in the multiplication and satisfaction of wants and desires. One source of pleasure craves as a corollary to another source. Thus, the mind seeks again and again to fulfill the desires it has given up, and it waits for the right moment. So, the sadhaka should be persistent in controlling the mind. Mind must be firmly turned away from sensory pleasures. Why? Even prayers should not be done while moving around. One has to sit steadily in one place and do prayers. The Atma itself will sustain such sadhakas and give them strength and resources. The state of such a jnani or the enlightened being is as follows. Grief and joy are but the very nature and ways of the mind. They are the modifications of the mind. So, when the mind is annihilated, how can the grief and joy, which are nothing but the features of the mind, affect a jnani? Jnani can experience grief only when his mind is associated with the body. When one takes in an anesthetic drug, one is not aware of pain, is it not? How does this happen? The mind is then detached from the body, and so it is not bothered by physical pain or discomfort. Similarly, the jnani too has merged his mind in the Atma. In such a state, he can establish mental peace and quiet by disciplining the mind. So, the jnani gets full bliss from his own Atma. He does not seek it anywhere outside himself. In fact, he will have no desire or plan to find joy in anything external, for he experiences all the desires he needs to experience in his own Atma itself. Therefore, the greatness of a jnani is beyond description, even beyond imagination. The Shrutis proclaim Brahmavit, Brahmeva Bhavati, Brahmavit Apanoti Param. That is to say, he who has known Brahman becomes Brahman itself. He who has attained the Brahman principle becomes the highest. All bubbles are but the same water. So also, all the multiplicity of name and form, all this created world are but the same Brahman. This is the fixed conviction of the jnani, nay, his genuine experience. As all rivers merge into the sea, so also all the desires of the Jivan Mukta or the liberated, even when alive, merge in his well-established state of Prashanti. That is what is termed the Atma Sakshatkaram or the clear vision of the Atma. The Atma has no death, isn't it? It is not born, and thus how can the Atma be claimed to possess the Satvikaras or the sixfold modifications? Not possible. That is why Shrutis proclaim that Atma is Ajaya or the birthless. Ajara or without old age, Amar without death, and Avinashi without decline and extinction. Therefore, Sadvikaras are for the evanescent body only and not for the Atma. They are also known as Sadbhava Vikaras. They mean being born, existing, growing, changing, declining, and lastly dying. Atma has no such modifications. It is Kutastha or the changeless. It remains as Nisangi, that is, one that is free from all associations, only witnessing all the changes caused by time and space, but unaffected by those transformations, like the water drop on the lotus leaf, and like the ocean and like the oxygen in the air. Liberation from the tendencies of the mind can be got by the means of Brahma Jnanam, the knowledge of the absolute Godhead. This type of liberation is known as the genuine Swarajya or the sovereignty or self-rule. This is the genuine moksha or liberation. Whoever grasps the reality in this world and perceives the world as untruth, he will be free from all vasanas, and ajnana or ignorance is completely dispelled. The robber who has robbed us of the precious gem of Atma is no other than the mind. So, if that robber is caught and punished, the gem can be regained. The possessor of that gem is immediately honored by being installed as Brahman. The aim of the sadhakas is to seek the personages who have attained the Atma Jnanam or the knowledge of the self. Honor them, learn from their experiences, and thereby attain bliss. Indeed, such sadhakas are truly blessed and holiest. That is the Swarajya or the sovereignty or self-rule that everyone should attain through the practice of dhyana or meditation. This is profundity of Brahman. This is the Atma Jnanam. Jai Sai Ram.
Saishwaraya vidmahe Satyadevaya dhimahi Tanna sarva prachodayat. Om Saishwaraya vidmahe Satyadevaya dhimahi Tanna sarva prachodayat. Om Saishwaraya vidmahe Satyadevaya dhimahi Tanna sarva prachodayat. Om